Hello and welcome to the Omnic Fallout. We are Uniedge and Nymphadora. This is the podcast about Overwatch and Blizzard things that we just feel like talking about and other gaming things. How are you doing today, Nymphadora?
I'm good. I was doing some Overwatch right before the podcast started up, so gotta get that Overwatch in.
I've played so much in the past week since it came out. It's been ridiculous, personally. But I mean, it's one of these games, guys. When you're playing it, you got to remember to take breaks with it because you will get burnt out on it quick. Because it's. Oof.
Oh yeah, and it's so easy to sit there and play until 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, it is. It very much is. Now remember, guys, we're not going to be paying too much attention to the unless you listen to it on iTunes, you wouldn't know this. We're not going to be paying too much attention to the Twitch chat anymore. If you want to get in contact with us, please send us an email to the omnicfallout@gmail.com. That way we can answer your questions, address your comments and concerns and ideas and what have you. So what all have you been doing in game this week?
I just been playing Overwatch for the most part this week. I hit level 44 last night. Really happy with that. I know you're a lot higher than I am.
I'm sitting at a measly 53.
I actually learned how to play Widowmaker. I was playing Widowmaker last night, and I was like, oh man, this is actually, I'm not too terrible at this. So that was really fun.
Widowmaker's fun, but she's like sometimes like a weird hybrid to do. But I mean, it's really good. I personally always, when it comes to snipers, I'm always partial to Hanzo, just because I always love bow and arrow. Any game that has a bow and arrow, I'm usually drawn towards. But this time, I found myself more attracted to, say, like Junkrat or anything, just because I never realized how much I would like grenade launchers and that arc of how good it feels. It really does. It just feels amazing to be shooting Junkrat's grenade launcher at people. But this week, we're going to be talking about his cohort, Roadhog. We're a two-man Apocacast. I can't pronounce the thing that I wrote.
You came up with it. Apocacast. I think it's a great title. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, it's Roadhog. Whew. But we'll get to that later. First, we're going to start by talking about all the news and everything today. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the first one, if you don't mind, Nymphadora.
Go ahead.
Blizzard banned thousands of people this past week for cheating, and well, mainly the only thing they brought up was cheating. I'm assuming there was like mini bans for all the other various offenses, like names and everything, which I've seen so many like horrible names,
awful offensive names.
Yeah, it's real so bad. The Call of Duty is strong in this one.
Oh God, yes.
But they banned 1,572 people in China and countless others in other countries for cheating. It's become a real problem. If you do notice it in game, which it is very hard to notice when people are cheating, usually you can tell if people are aiming around a corner and they just headshot you directly as soon as you come around the corner, and they don't have Widowmaker's vision or Hanzo's vision, because you can tell when they do have Hanzo and Widowmaker's vision when you're watching the kill cam. And if you see them just do that, and sometimes that does happen. I mean, it legit does happen. But if they just do that all the time,
yeah, a note
report
to keep is everybody has specific footsteps. So if the people know the map really well and can hear you, they can, and they don't have the recon or anything like that from Widowmaker or Hanzo. They can also headshot you. So when you watch the kill cam, pay attention to what they're doing. It is obvious when they're shooting through a wall, essentially.
And I mean, who knows? Maybe they have extreme coordination with their other players, and another hero sees you, but they can't headshot you because they don't have the means, say, like their Mercy or something like that, and they do see you, and they tell their teammate, "Oh, she's coming around the corner now." Like, maybe they have that extreme coordination. I don't know. Sometimes it takes a little bit of discrepancy. But, I mean, just because you reported, it takes more than just you reporting it to determine whether a person is cheating. So Blizzard's got their checklists and everything. And when they are reported, from what I understand, they scan for external programs that are going to be running whenever you're playing Overwatch, and if they determine one of them to be a cheat or a hack or anything to that nature, then yes, then they will take the appropriate measures. They do have a one strike, one ban system, so it's not even worth it. If it comes up and they find you cheating, they're not even going to fool with you. You're banned across their games for life.
And I can't believe how quick. I thought that it would at least be a couple weeks. I
thought it'd be a few months before they started like doing this, because like usually it takes a little while.
I didn't realize it was gonna be within the first damn week of it. It's ridiculous.
I'm happy though. I'm glad that's the thing, because this is a game that can be highly abused, and one thing we'll get to later, which is one of our last news subjects, is how much it's actually sold. How many players we have that came from the beta. You wanted to say something about China, though?
Oh, yeah. On the hacking thing, China has, they're selling aimbots openly. Like, there are websites and stuff everywhere, selling aimbots for Overwatch. That's the only thing I have found about it. So, that kind of explains why so many people in China have been banned. And when they a note for when they ban you across every Blizzard game. And even if you buy the game again, they will reban you.
Yeah, this is a banning of your Battle.net account, people. This isn't a banning of just your Overwatch key. This is a banning of your entire WoW account, your StarCraft account, your Diablo account. So if you're like us, we have extremely diversified Battle.net portfolios, which I would die if was banned, honestly. So I'm never going to be cheating, because the countless hours that I've spent in Warcraft, the countless hours I've spent in Diablo, the countless hours I've spent and money I've spent in all these games, it's just ridiculous. And I could never imagine doing that.
Yeah, and it's there's no, like, they're not playing around with it, and I seriously can't believe how quick it was. They haven't officially come out and said anything about they haven't responded to the open aimbot stuff from China, so I don't know what their opinion is on it yet.
I'm assuming they're going to soon. I mean, it's just one of those things probably that they can't make public yet. Yeah, they can't make it public yet what their plans are.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure, I mean, there's a lot of legal precedents that come in with that, so it's best for them to just stay quiet for now. But it's out there.
Anyway, enough with the cheating. We talked a lot about it last episode. If you want to hear more about it, I mean, this is the world of FPS. There are always going to be cheaters. Just like in the world of MOBAs, there's always cheaters in MOBAs as well. It's just one of those things that we have to live with, and we have to hope that Blizzard is going to have our backs. And so far, it seems that they do. So, I mean, that's good, and let's hope it keeps going this way forward, and that we don't have to worry about this in the future, that people are just completely discouraged. Recently, it came out that it was ranked number 1 in UK, Overwatch, that is. It's topping the charts everywhere. On Metacritic, I think didn't it have something around like a 92% last time I checked, or something to that nature?
I think it's in the runnings for Play of the Game, Game of the Year. Play of the Game. I've been playing too much Overwatch.
It definitely is. Do I think it's going to be Game of the Year? I don't think it's going to be the Game of the Year. There's been so many games that have come out this year and that are coming out this year that I think are going to take that crown from it. But I do think it's going to be the best FPS of the year, if it's not topped by Call of Duty, just because Call of Duty always seems to top it just because there's so many Call of Duty fans, and it's kind of hard to take that crown from them. It's like to measure it up. It's like World of Warcraft and any other MMO trying to take the crown from them. It's just not going to happen.
That is very true. Very, very true. So changes are coming to characters in the game. So, as we reported last week, they are putting out a content patch at the end of this month, not next month. There's a typo on Twitter, so if you saw that, it's not July. It is definitely coming out at the end of the month.
So blown out of proportion.
Oh
I read
God.
that. Like, I was on IGN and I was just waking up because I wake up at 5 p.m. in the afternoon now because I have no life and play too much Overwatch, and it goes into the wee hours of the morning. But like, I read that, and like the headline was next content patch of Overwatch not coming till July, and I was like, what? And then I read it, and they had already corrected it in the post, but they just didn't change the headline. So I was like, that's, assholes.
Oh man, yeah, they are. So with the content patch, it's going to be McCree, Diva, and Reaper. So the thing for Reaper, they're not changing any of his like playstyles or anything. They're changing when he teleports, because when he teleports, you don't know if it is an enemy Reaper or a friendly Reaper. So they're changing his color, the color of his like teleport dust.
Which it should have been this way all the way, like the little flames that come around him, the flame and smoke.
Yeah.
And then with McCree, they're gonna be like, they were talking about how they're gonna change a couple of the balance combos. Like, he has a really strong flashbang grenade, then fan into somebody's face, and then just pretty much one shot kills anybody but a tank. And even with the tank, it takes them down really low. So they're talking about changing that, tweaking that a little bit. They're not talking about nerfing or boosting his attack numbers necessarily. They're talking about more of like maybe giving it a little bit more of an internal cooldown. That way the person has a chance to evade or get out of the way.
Yeah, they're not changing a whole lot with Fan of the Hammer. That's gonna, I mean, for a flashbang. The flashbang is kind of gonna stay the same because they like the way that it works. It's Fan of the Hammer that they're going to change. They said something about the damage reduction is going to be slight, just to kind of even it out, because it's powerful. And if you know how to play McCree, which if you watch episode 1, will teach you how to play McCree.
Yeah, I still don't know how to play McCree, so don't trust me.
I know how to play McCree because I had to do that research. I was like, hell yeah, man, this is awesome. I love McCree. So I'm a little bummed because I really like that combination, but it does need to be nerfed slightly, just a little bit. It's a little OP. Diva is actually going to get a little bit of a buff because her shotguns they don't really do a whole lot of damage, and
which they shouldn't be. Like, and they addressed that in the chat. They're like, I mean, in the Q&A, it was like, she's a tank. She's not supposed to be doing obscene amounts of damage. And what they talked about in the chat, it was like, well, what we're going to think about doing is we're not going to make her shotgun stronger.
Right.
What we're thinking about doing is we're going to make her be able to mitigate a little bit more damage, which is what it should be. Her focus should be mitigating damage, not doing damage.
She's they want her to be a more mobile tank because there's not really very good. You have Winston, who's mobile, and
extremely mobile,
and then you have Roadhog, which we'll talk about later, and Reinhardt, and they're there to take damage, whereas Winston and Diva don't take as much damage. They're more distraction oriented.
I'd take Diva as a distraction oriented, like to lay down covering fire and stuff of that nature, and I take Winston more as a get them off the point kind of character because he has a lot of pushback and everything, like especially when he ults, and his Tesla is kind of a deterrent to make people get away. and he's got that shield to protect from a little bit of incoming damage on the point whenever he jumps on it. So he's more of like a point capper, just to get you there, kind of like in the same way Tracer is to like your forward advanced scout. But what I think they wanted to do, like you were saying, what they want to do with Diva is just make her a little bit more mobile and a little bit more damage mitigation. Because the only damage mitigation other than the tank that she drives around is her E, which is that little field that she puts up in front of her that shoots down any incoming projectiles.
Yeah, they don't want her to be what they call a beefy flying assassin. They want her to be a and I'm quoting this, a viable, aggressive initiator tank. So they want her to be more like Winston, which I think will be really good for her because that's essentially what she does already. So she's going to get a little bit of a boost there.
Did you want to go ahead and talk about the esports as well?
Oh, yeah. So I've never really been into esports until recently. I watched the first U.S. LAN tournament by Agent Rising on Twitch this weekend, and it came down to Cloud9 versus Team Liquid. That's just the name of the teams.
Well, Cloud9 and Team Liquid are like really, 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 really well known esports, especially in the Heroes of the Storm realm and other games as well.
Yeah, and they were really big in the beta when they did a lot of the beta tournaments and stuff like that. And it was a really great learning experience. I got a lot of really cool ideas on how to play different characters just by watching it. But the casters made it really fun. But Cloud9 won over Team Liquid. And there were over 2,000 people watching the channel when I was in there. I don't know what the final counts are for how many people were actually watching total for the whole tournament, but
I know that it lagged.
It lagged really, really poorly, and it caused some serious issues on Twitch lagging because it started at the same time as our podcast last week. And our podcast apparently didn't stream because all the bandwidth was going to that. So it was, I have a feeling Twitch is going to have a separate service for esports because it's just grown so much. But it was really fun.
It's been a little bit ridiculous. I'm a little bit scared when there's going to be two major tournaments happening at the exact same time because it's going to start happening where they line up next to each other.
Oh yeah, because there's not really a season like in regular sports. It's you can essentially have a season all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, my opinion, because Blizzard is hooking up with Twitch to try and cut down on a lot of the stuff in chat and boost like the esports arena and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should just completely have like Twitch esports and then Twitch for the rest of the world and focus.
Which that raises another point, like for BlizzCon itself. BlizzCon, like, I don't know, a lot of people last year that went, like the biggest complaint was there is not enough time to get around that convention because there are so many esports. If you're a fan of all Blizzard games and the Blizzard esports of those games, you are not going to be able to catch everything. You're going to have to watch a lot of it on Twitch later on or YouTube later, or on demand, because you just can't make it. It's physically impossible to every stage for every like final, even the finals you can't make it to.
I think BlizzCon should actually be more than 2 days because it's just gotten so big. It should be more than 2 days. It should be a long weekend, like 4 days, like Dragon Con or Comic Con. Like it should be.
Well, what they need to do is what they did last year, except make it a little bit better. Is like last year they had an entire pre-event to BlizzCon where a lot of the semifinals happened, not the finals. Like a lot of the semifinals, they just need to do that, but one day with all the finals and everything in it. So you can also go to the panels, so you can also go to the finals, so you can also go to the store. I mean, there's so much going on there that's ridiculous. If you go there, it's like running around with your head cut off.
That'd be a great idea to do that.
and it's oof. I love it and I hate it at the same time.
Isn't that
uh,
all cons though?
it is, but it Bl- BlizzCon has such a different vibe because it's only focused on Blizzard games. It's like going to a like any convention just focused on one thing from a specific area of geekdom is a lot better than going to like Comic Con or Dragon Con or going to any like major convention like that or like for E3 even. It's because it's all focused on that one set of games that you like.
That's true.
If you're going to one of those games, you're going to run into the toxic people that are always talking about they don't care about this thing, but they're in line for it for some reason. You're going to run into people that are like trying to sell knockoff merchandise. You're going to run into people that are like just back after back after back of things, ridiculous lines leading to nowhere, and then like you just don't know what's going on half the time. Where when you're at BlizzCon or a convention that's I can't think of any offhand, but a convention that's based just on one sole subject, it's so much nicer because you're not running around. Everyone's there having a good time. Everybody's there for one thing. They all know what's going on. They're all excited about what's going on, and it's just such an amazing vibe. Um. Anyway, moving on. One of the new things that came out is they've released some of the sales numbers, and what's ridiculous is they've already sold over 7 million units of Overwatch. Now, that doesn't say whether it's the collector's edition, whether it's the Origins edition, or whether it's the regular edition.
Shit.
But 7 million copies. The beta was 9.6 million people. That means that 7 million of those were like, yep.
Yep. I'm buying this. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is already 7 million. Damn. Now, do you know if that is both, or I'm sorry, both PC and console, like, or is it
They
all of the
didn't.
numbers, or did they?
They
Okay.
didn't specify. That's just all of them put together. The same way that Hearthstone, they don't talk about how many like are on specific platforms or whatever. It's
That's
just all.
that's still really really cool. That's awesome.
Mm,
That is really awesome.
and then it's
Um, I think that's it for unless you have something else for the Overwatch news for Overwatch.
um. I think that's it for me. The only thing I read earlier was more about the cheating stuff, but it doesn't really matter. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean
But
that's the biggest thing right now is all of the cheating stuff going on, but we've already addressed that. So,
mhm.
well, wow, we'll move on to quick wow news. You know, everybody, I'm sure everybody knows now that they shut down the vanilla servers that were happening, and they had a meeting last Friday with the developers of the vanilla servers. I don't know any details that came out of it. All I know is they have a second meeting for with the devs and stuff, and they're just basically listening to what they have to say and coming up with some ideas on how to handle the whole vanilla server issue because it is so popular. They're not ignoring it, which I think is really cool. They're not letting it go. They're actually attempting to do something.
Which good on them, and I hope they do. It's one of those things that needs to be addressed and eventually needs to be figured out. Like I was telling Nymph before when we were discussing the notes, they gotta figure out a way to monetize this for it to go anywhere. I mean, Blizzard, love them or hate them, they're a company and they've got to make money, and they've got to make money off of the things that they do. Everybody wants them to put things out there for free, and they have put things out there for free, like their previous games and stuff to that nature. Uh, I mean, it. You got to find a way for them to make money off of it. You can't just expect this to be the free way it was before, where like people could just log on and do whatever they want.
Well, I mean, there's legal precedents to why they close the servers. I mean, if they continue to let the vanilla servers go, then that means that their trademark is being used, and so other companies can come in and freely use their trademark, and you just get into like this whole legal just crap. So I think it's good that they're making an effort to, they're addressing it. They're not just ban hammering and just going, nope, not gonna happen. Fuck you guys,
Mm-hmm. And it should be, because I mean, there's enough people out there to warrant a potential look at what they could be doing with this. Now, I don't see this particular thing, if they do anything with it, lasting forever, just because I don't see it's like holding that much, holding that many people there. But I do see it being like a one-off quick event that might last for a while, and it might hold people's excitement for a good little while. And it'd be a good way for them to make a little bit of money off of it as well.
Well, definitely. So Heroes turns 1 today. Heroes of the Storm turns 1 today. So happy birthday, Heroes. They have some cool little things and stuff in the shop if you guys want to buy some stuff today. I didn't look at anything, but
if you wait till the 4th, you can. If you buy, well, actually, until the 4th, if you buy something, you get the Billy mount.
Yes.
And if you wait till after the 4th, you get the Hellbilly mount.
Yeah.
I think it's the 4th. Isn't the 4th? I didn't really research that because it's not our show. I think it's after the 4th.
I've seen glances. I'm not exactly sure. I do know that
you might want to just clarify.
Yeah, they are doing an unranked draft. There's an unranked draft mode coming. So basically, all the things that you can do in the ranked draft mode, which is ban certain characters. There's a bunch of different stuff you can. I've never played.
They're essentially making a good practice mode for league mode. Like it.
Exactly.
It's just so that you can get ready for it. Which, like, I lost interest in Heroes after a while because it's just the toxicity was too much there, and blah 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 blah. I could go on for days.
I've dealt with a couple of toxic people, but no more than like what I've dealt with in Overwatch when I play Heroes. It's a lot less than like League of Legends. League of Legends is I don't even touch that game anymore because I was trying to learn and I couldn't learn fast enough for them. So.
I came to terms a long time ago that I just hate the MOBA genre personally. I mean, good on you if you like the MOBA genre. I don't have any problems against you. It's just not my type of game. I'm not good at it, and I'm never going to be good at it. So
it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
Heroes is the only MOBA I actually find interesting, but it is slow. MOBAs are slow, whereas Overwatch is not. That's why I like
even
Overwatch.
WoW is not that slow. It's just it feels really slow for some reason.
It does. And going back from Overwatch to Heroes, Tuesday I played with Joss Plays. They had a couple of the girls on there. She does Ladies Night Heroes every Tuesday, which is absolutely
Jules
hilarious.
And all them too. Usually.
I recommend checking them out because it's freaking hilarious. But I got to play with them, and I'm sitting here like, why is my EQ not working? What the hell, man? Like, it was awful. I forgot how to Heroes because of Overwatch.
That was like a couple days ago. I was playing Overwatch. I mean, not Overwatch. I was playing Here's the Storm with Sharku, and I was like, all right, Sharku, I'm not that good. Here we go. And it was like really slow, and I had fun with it, but it's just not. It's something that I'll go visit every once in a while. I spent way too much money in that game, though, personally. Like when it comes to Blizzard games, I always spend way too much money.
Who doesn't? But anyway, that's it for the news. We don't cover Hearthstone because neither one of us are any good at it, and when I read stuff about Hearthstone, it just goes over my head.
One more thing about WoW is the Legion beta test, the server test for the event has been pushed back a month, I heard. Okay. Not much else coming off of that, but it's been pushed back a month, I believe. Not the release. It's still coming out in August, but this is just the server stress test that they do before.
Gotcha.
So
they've still got a lot of glitches and stuff. My husband was in alpha and he's in beta, and and they're still working on a lot of stuff. I personally don't think that they're going to be ready by August 30th. I think that's a little soon. But
yeah, it's a little out there, but I mean, August, honestly, not really too soon, personally for me, because it's been a year already since the end of Warlords of Draenor.
I have a theory actually about that.
It's been a year since the first guild beat beat Hellfire Citadel.
I actually have a theory on that. You know, there's only like one content patch for Warlords. And I think what happened was it didn't go the way they had planned it to go. No, the second patch was not real content. It was just basic patch stuff. There was a little bit of content.
Well, I mean, there was Black Rock Foundry, and then there was Hellfire Citadel. Those were 2 content patches.
They all came.
There was
in
only
the
2.
First patch.
Well, they came in the first patch, but they weren't playable. Technically, there was 2, but every expansion there's been usually 3.
3 or 4. Mist of Pandaria had 4. So yeah. My theory is the garrison situation didn't go the way they wanted it to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so they scrubbed the rest of the content patches for Warlords and focused on Legion. And we're like, all right, well, we're gonna bump this up and we're gonna focus on Legion. And
Which I'm trying to ignore a lot of that, and it's looking good every time I see like a glimpse of it. Like, I'm just excited beyond measure.
I'm hoping that my theory proves correct and Legion turns out to be a really redemptive thing for Warlords. Because what it was when it started was fun, but then it just petered out. There's nothing left.
Warlords had an amazing story.
It
had an amazing story.
I loved it.
Then they did the stupid thing of locking some of the lore behind doing mythic raiding. And it's like that's like 1% of your entire raiding, like your player base is like doing mythic raiding on the rig. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, there's a lot of people that do mythic raiding, but there's not that many. Just to me personally, there's not that many.
Not a lot of, because so many guilds they don't raid as much as they used to. You have a very few amount of people. But anyway, that's really cool. We should probably move on since we're halfway through the podcast.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be talking about Roadhog today. He has a lot of the same backstory as Junkrat. He was in the Australian outback whenever the government officials gifted the Omnium, which are the Omnics after the war, the Australian outback. And due to the Australian outback's original Dinsians fighting back, the factory exploded and left the entirety of the Australian outback as in basically a post-apocalyptic wasteland. So it has affected all of the people in the Australian outback, and they're just trying to survive now. And Roadhog was hired by Junkrat to be essentially his bodyguard because he had found secrets out. So Roadhog, whose real name is Mako Rutledge, is there's not really that much about him, honestly. He donned the mask and took down the road and basically just became a scavenger, trying to figure. Yeah, he was Mad Max essentially. He became Mad Max.
Yeah, exactly.
There's not much else to go on there. All of his real story starts with Junkrat. He basically became thieves with Junkrat with the moral of no job too big, no score too small. They would share 50-50 of everything that they got from their crime sprees. They went everywhere, and they did any job they could. They both have serious hate against Omnics, which
for obvious reason. I mean, the Omnics kind of took over the Outback, and they're like, no, we're gonna destroy it, and then it just exploded and created just hysteria.
Yeah, and they're wanting to take back their world like that, but they can't. Like it's too late. It's too far gone. So the radiation has messed with their mind at this point. They're not fully there, and they're just willing to do anything and everything to get back at the Omnics. And Junkrat being one of the more vocal of them. Whenever you take Junkrat on a map, he's always commenting about how we should destroy the city if you're in Nabani or anywhere Omnic related. Like, he's just like, we should blow it all up.
True. He just likes to blow things up.
Mm-hmm. Roadhog, let's just go ahead, because like the lore, like I was saying, it doesn't really change that much. Like, he has pretty much the same lore as Junkrat. He's part of the Australian Liberation Front.
Yeah, I was gonna say that they met because they're both part of the Australian Liberation Front.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't think we mentioned we didn't talk much about the comic book last week, but because we were talking about Roadhog this week. But they in the comic book, we come together after we find them together. So this is after all of their history in the Outback and everything, and they're hired by a dude to go and kill Omnics, supposedly.
Mm-hmm. This is like the rest of the comics, where it takes place after all the events, after the fall of Overwatch. It's basically like a pre-Overwatch event, like, essentially.
Yeah, pre what Overwatch has become now. So this old man in Australia hires him to go kill Omnics, but it turns out it was to kill a group of robots that were legal. So he wanted to basically get Junkrat and Roadhog caught by the cops. And they end up hanging him at the end of the comic. If you haven't read it now, it's been out for a while, so spoilers.
Yeah. It's a really good comic. Just like the rest of the Overwatch comics have been so far, they've been really good. I mean, there's not much else to say about them lore-wise. We still don't know what the secret is. We still don't know all about Mako's background, which is Roadhog. We just know that they're two crazy Mad Max-like, ridiculous, just over-the-top Australians. It's awesome. They're crazy and they're amazing, and they're both fun to play. We'll go ahead and go on about his weapons. You want to start us off with the scrap gun?
Sure. So I attempted to play Roadhog this week, and he, according to the difficulty level, he's actually really easy. Which he is and he isn't.
All heroes are easy. It's just depending on how you're playing and who you're playing against.
It depends on your playstyle. My playstyle does not work well with Roadhog, so I did not do well playing Roadhog at all this week. But he has a scrap gun, which only has 4 bullets, so you have to reload
4 loads of scrap.
Yeah, basically, 4 loads of scrap. So, it's really, really frustrating when you're trying to shoot things and you're used to shooting with like more bullets. And it's it's your standard respawn time. So,
and you got your short range and your mid range, and the short range is like really powerful up front, like especially if you hook them in.
The short range is the scatter one. So it's like a whole bunch right in front of you, and then your long range is basically it's a combined thing of scrap, and it shoots a long way, and then it explodes. So
it shoots about I'd say about 20 feet in front of you, maybe 10 feet, and then it does the shotgun blast.
It's mid range. It's not. It's not a long range gun. He does best at mid range, close quarters.
And that's why they gave him the chain hook, so that he can bring enemies in from long range. His chain seems to go a little bit longer than his normal shotgun blast, damage wise. So you can bring him in and just shoot him straight in the face with it. like you do want to left click, and then you can, after you do left click to shoot them, you can melee them in the face to finish them off if it doesn't take them down with the shotgun.
Yeah, the hook does damage when you hook them too.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not a tank like Diva and Reinhardt, where he can, and Winston, where he takes on one person at a time.
He's a sustained tank. He is like a self-sustaining tank. He's a tank that
he
can,
is like Reinhardt because
yeah.
of that. So but his shield is himself. He has the biggest health pool of all the tanks.
And he does, like, he's the kind of tank that you want to keep a little bit towards the middle and not towards the front exactly. He's more of a distraction because he's such a big target.
Right.
But you also do want to run him around the walls and use his other ability, which is the take a breather ability, where he takes one of the gas mask filters and breathes it in, and it heals him, I think, up to 300, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty big heal, and you don't do like me and just do it in the middle of the map. That's the best way to play him. Run around, heal yourself, and then come back into the middle of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I suck as Roadhog. I really do. I'm not.
He's really fun. He's really fun.
He is fun when you're playing with friends. If you're playing by yourself, he's difficult.
Well, he's a good character to bring people out of place. Like if you have a tracer that's running around, if you can guess where she's gonna teleport to, you can hook her the second she teleports. Or if you have,
she dies so fast after that because she has such a low health pool. Yeah, if you can hook a tracer, she's done. Like,
yeah, and some ults you can interrupt by grabbing them. Like you can interrupt McCree's ult. You can interrupt. I think you can interrupt Hanzo's ult as well, but I'm not 100% sure. But like if you grab him the second he starts, you can interrupt him. There's a lot of stuff you can do.
I think it interrupts Farah's ult if you're close enough. If you can hook her, it will interrupt Farah's ult too, because she can't move, but sometimes she's too high in the air. He's a really good against Symmetra because of his huge health pool. If he walks through a bunch of her turrets, they're not going to take him down immediately, and you have time to take down her turrets. And her health, she doesn't have any kind of. She has a shield, but I think her health pool is on the low end as well, and she's kind of squishy herself, and she doesn't have. Her defenses against him are not very good. They don't do enough damage to take him down fast enough. Not compared to his gun.
His ability, like I was saying, it's just a displacer. He's the kind of hero that you want to use to take anybody that's being annoying out of the battle quickly.
Like Tracer.
Yeah, he's just perfect for that.
Damn Tracer. Or even he's actually really good against Bastion too. Because he'll hook Bastion and take Bastion out of his turret form.
Oh yeah, and he can also his shotgun is just perfect for laying down covering fire also, because it does just enough damage to deter people from coming around the corner and just attempting to just flank you or whatever. It's just a good way to, like, oh nope, never mind, I guess not.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's like you were saying, he's really weak against, though. I'll go ahead and talk about the first one, is May. Because he's such a big target and because he moves so slowly, like around, like, I don't know, he feels real slow. May can just run circles around him and freeze him in place. But you're not going to be able to take somebody out, take a Roadhog out, unless you have him, like, alone with just May. Like, it's you got to be doing a lot of work to take him, which I've done it before, and a lot of people can do it. I mean, so you can do it. It is possible, but you're not going to most likely be doing it by yourself on that front.
Yeah, she her ice freeze is really great because she'll freeze him and then everybody else can take him out. because he does. Again, he has a lot of health, so I mean, her ice doesn't do that much damage. Reaper is the second one that he's really bad against because Reaper, his shotguns do massive amounts of damage because he's using 2 shotguns. And if he starts, going down in health, he can just go in Wraith form and just fly away. So, and you can't hook him while he's in Wraith form.
But you can grab him, like, if you see where he's going to be teleporting. Like, sometimes you'll come around a corner and just see that shadow, like, start to grow. If you just time it right, you can hook him the second he comes through there and blast him away.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those timing things, and if he has his Wraith walk up, you're just done. You can't stop him from that point. You can try and out DPS him, hopefully.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're playing a Roadhog, just be wary of May and Reaper. I was about to say Ray. Apparently, Star Wars
Reyes
is part of this.
Not Reyes.
Reyes,
yeah.
there you go. But they are really good counters to Roadhog. But he is
also really good
Tracer.
Really good counters are snipers, just because they can melt them pretty quick. Like if you're from a long distance, you can take them down. Pretty much any tank you can take down from a distance. Another good counter would be Junkrat. Just Junkrat can do a lot of damage to them up the front, just from far away. And then if he does get close enough, like say a Roadhog pulls you in as Junkrat, you throw your mine out and then explode it right away, and it separates you both, so he can't just tear you apart. But you have to be really quick on the timing with that. You can also catch them in a trap pretty easy, because a lot of times they don't notice it. There's just so many things you can do with Junkrat to counter him also. The same with Pharah. If you time it just right with Pharah, you can knock him back with your E, or you can just decimate him with your rockets, because he's such a big target.
Yeah, her rockets have splash hit, so they'll bounce people off maps too.
But if you do get the chance, you do want to land a body shot. Like, a body shot's always going to be better.
Oh god, yeah.
And another good counter for Roadhog is Bastion. Bastion is a really good counter for just about any tank, because he can melt that damage. Now, if you do let a Roadhog get close enough to you, he can take you out pretty easily, but you can't let him get close to you. Like, I was looking at
a website that somebody had done. It's like, these counter these way better, and Bastion and Roadhog are about the same level playing each other. So it depends on where Bastion is positioned, and
distance is the key.
Oh god, yeah. So,
but then again, if you're in a position to where Roadhog, you can see Roadhog from far away, then a sniper's probably going to be behind him. So you're probably in a bad position as Bastion. So
very true. Very true on that front.
Other heroes that are potentially good at him that are also, I mean, like I said, this game's balanced. It's really hard to not be able to beat a hero with any hero. Like, I've been able to kill Tracer as out of mech diva. Like, it's
me too.
I was bullying the shit out of a Tracer that as out of mech diva before. It's hilarious.
I was so proud I headshot a Tracer as a Widowmaker last night. I was like, yeah! Got that little pop up.
I've even outshot a Soldier 76 as an Automech Diva. Like, it's ridiculous. Every hero can counter every hero if you play it right. It just depends on the person you're going against and your luck.
There are certain heroes that do counter exceptionally better than others. And it's usually like one that counters the other better. Yeah.
You want to get good at all the heroes, but if you have a hero that you're exceptionally good at, then most likely play that hero, and you will shine better than if you were to try to pick the counter for every time they switched. Like, that's more of like a pro level scene kind of thing, where the person you're going up against is a pro, and that the only way you can counter them is by doing the counter. Like, that's more of like that kind of scene. But if you're just like playing quick match or even ranked play when that comes out, until you get into those high levels of ranked play, all you're going to want to be doing is playing the character that you're best at or trying to get better at other characters. And just focusing on trying to figure out ways of taking down each and every one of these heroes as the character you're playing. You can kill people as mercy. There's such a thing as battle mercy, people. That is a thing that's happened.
Oh yeah.
And I have died to a good battle mercy.
I've died to a mercy before, and I felt terrible. I'm like, really? Mercy just killed me? Mercy.
It's a real bad feeling.
Mercy just shot me.
It's a real bad feeling, but it happens.
It is. It's a very bad feeling. Oh god, map awareness is so key. Like, you've got to know, you got to learn these maps.
Even then, if you don't know the map very well, as long as you have like, okay, I'm just gonna go around this corner, guns a-blazing. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna catch somebody off guard. Like,
when I noticed one of the things, like when I'm usually playing with friends, so rarely am I by myself. But in the quick matches when I play, one of the things I noticed is people changing characters constantly. And that's usually when you lose a match, because you're changing your character all the time, and you're not giving yourself a chance to get the feel of the character.
Not to mention, every time you change your hero, you lose your ultimate status.
Yeah.
So like, you lose whatever position you were at your ultimate. The best time to ever change a hero, if you're going to change a hero, is right after you died using your ult.
Yeah.
Like, that's the perfect time. If you have over 50% of your ult charged, I would say just go ahead and keep playing that hero until you lose all of your ultimate. Unless it's a clutch situation where you've only got 2 minutes left on the clock, or a minute left on the clock, rather, and you have to take down that Bastion that's across the map, and you don't have a Widowmaker or a Hanzo or a Genji to do it, so you just have to do that in that one situation. Then yeah, I mean, like, everything's situational based. You have to figure it out for yourself for the most part. Well, all we can tell you is try to get better at the heroes that you're playing, that you like to play. Find the hero that you like, get really good at it, and then start focusing on other heroes. Yeah, maybe while you're learning that hero, dabble on a couple others just so you can learn.
And I wouldn't change more than maybe 2 to 3 times in a quick match. Just to figure out which character is better against, the team that you're playing, because you're going to come up against, different types of people. But one of the great things about this pool of characters is, depending on what your gameplay is, you've got a pool of characters to match your gameplay. So, and they're going to be bringing more in. So if you don't like any of the 21, they're going to be more later. So,
you know what I just realized?
What?
We didn't talk about the brawl of the week.
Oh, we didn't. The brawl. Have you done the brawl of the week yet?
No, I haven't done it yet, but I know what it is.
It's horrible. It is so horrible. I hate it. It's
alright, guys. So the brawl of the week.
Hanzo and Genji.
Super Shamata Bros is what it's called.
Great
on the name, guys.
Yeah, nice name. Nice name, Blizz. You get
so all you can
points for that.
All you can pick is Genji or Hanzo. And are the ults disabled or are they enabled? Nope. I can't remember.
They have them, but the ults are really, really slow. But your ultimates are slow to come up, but your other abilities come up really quick.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a pseudo arcade mode.
Yeah. No, I didn't like it. Genji's really good against Hanzo, and that's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know about you, but I've headshot many a Genji as Hanzo, as he just like charges me. I'm like,
I'm
nope.
Terrible. I'm so bad at Hanzo. I am so bad at Hanzo. I'm better at Genji than I am Hanzo. I actually got played the game as Genji the first time I played him. I was quite proud of that.
I'm horrible at Genji. I cannot, like, I any hero that teleports around, I'm like, where am I?
Oh man,
I got decent at Tracer for a little while, but like,
Tracer is, she's difficult. People that can play Tracer really, really suck. Like, I hate them.
If you play Tracer, you're really good. You're cancer. Really well. Fade. I'm talking about you, Fade.
I'm talking about Jules. Jules is really good at Tracer. Screw you, Jules. I'm just kidding. I love you.
But like it, uh, going back to the Shimada Bros, like
Yeah.
it's I love what they're doing with the brawl. I love this. Like I love the random. Like what I wish they would have done is what I said last time, is what they would have had what they had in the beta, as the
Where it
first brawl.
changes each character.
Random heroes.
Which, I mean,
Random heroes
eventually
with a
they'll
slightly
have that.
sped up ultimate. Which, yeah, they will, but it would have been a great time for now with all these new players coming in. I mean, I doubt all 7 million of those players partook in the beta.
Right.
You know what I mean? I doubt all 7 million of them did. And it would have been really good for them to learn all the heroes just by playing them randomly. I think that was like played a lot whenever the beta was going on, that brawl. Like it felt like it was though, because the matches were really short. Like the queue time was really short to get into the brawl.
The brawl, yeah. I do know. We don't play Hearthstone, but for those of you that do play Hearthstone and haven't played Overwatch, the brawl is essentially like the tavern brawl in Hearthstone. From what I heard.
The only sad thing is there's no bonus for doing it. You don't get anything extra. You just get the normal amount of XP, the normal amount of everything.
Which
is kind of disappointing.
Like an extra loot box or something just for playing the brawl.
I wouldn't even say an extra loot box. I would say just like a little bit more extra XP. Like, congratulations, you did the first brawl of the week. Here's a free 1,500 XP, or 2,000 XP.
I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool with the loot box for playing.
Yeah, because the loot box equivalents to an entire level.
Yeah. Maybe a free skin or something that you don't have.
Yeah. No. That's guaranteed skin, and that's worse than a free loot box.
I don't know. I do. Yeah, I think that you should get something a little bit extra.
Yeah, I think
Even
an XP reward
gold.
would be just enough. Yeah.
XP and gold.
Or gold. Yeah, that would be a good thing too. Gold, like 100 gold or 200 gold.
Yeah.
For doing it.
Here you go. Here's some gold for doing the brawl once this week, and winning or losing. Because we lost hard.
That wouldn't get too out of hand. I mean, once a week, it'd be like 10 weeks if you were giving 100 gold a week before they could afford a legendary skin.
That's true. That's what they do in Tavern Brawl. I do know that if you do the Tavern Brawl, you get like a card.
You get a booster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you get a pack of cards.
You get a pack of cards.
If you win.
But it's usually a standard pack of cards, and not one of the new boosters.
Standard pack of cards?
Yeah. It's the original
the classic,
pack.
Sorry,
the classic set.
My husband is the Hearthstone player, so he's sitting here. You get a pack once a week. I'm like, okay, thanks, honey. Thanks for answering that question. I appreciate it.
But I mean, it'd be cool if we did get a little bit of something, but it's fine that we don't. It's fine. For now, I mean, they're still selling things up.
Patch or something,
yeah, and I'm also hoping there's rewards for doing the competitive mode when the competitive mode comes out.
I'm going to try
hoping to put something in there. I am too. I'm definitely going to try it.
I'm totally going to try it. I know that there are players that are way better than me. I mean, I'm not the best player in the world, but I'm not... I'm picking up better on this than I did TF2. So...
At least with this, it's going to be a lot better than Heroes of the Storm ranked play, because you're going to be actually, like... And this one, your skill is a lot more dependent on, well, y'all just didn't get to the objective in time.
Yeah.
You didn't take advantage of the 5-second window. Oh, shit.
They, speaking of that, really quick, they are working on the play of the game algorithm, because I've seen a lot of play of the games where it's like one kill. That's it. It's like, that's awesome.
I've seen it.
Good job, guys. Great play of the game.
Or that hammer of the game where Torbjorn's just hammering away on his turret and you don't even see the kills.
So they are working on that, guys. They are working on the play of the game thing. But I mean, it's never going to be perfect.
I did have the most glorious play of the game, which anybody who's ever played with me, they get pissed because in like 50% of the time I'm getting play of the game because I play nothing but Junkrat, Diva, Hanzo, and like just characters that always dominate the play of the game, like no matter what. But I did get the most amazing play of the game when I was playing with Darius the other day. Um, I was playing Diva, and it was like the clutch moment. Like we were in overtime on Watchpoint Gibraltar, and we were like maybe 5 meters away from capping, but they were all like on top of us, and they had just respawned or something like the nature. Like they'd just been rezzed. So I aimed Diva up in the sky, pressed like shift, and then just launched the bomb. Immediately died as soon as I popped out of my suit. My bomb landed perfectly on top of the point and destroyed everybody.
That is awesome. Oh, that is so awesome. That is
I got play of the game for that too, which is great, and I also got the achievement for game over.
I think I was in that one with you because
you may have been. I couldn't remember.
The kill cam was you dead, but
the
game was you dead, but yeah, it was still you just
kept
like seeing the red.
100%, 100%, 100%.
I remember that. Yeah, I was playing with you. That was hilarious. That was a good play of the game. That was worthy of play of the game. Oh man!
Because on Watchpoint Gibraltar, if you land that perfectly on the point at the end of the map, there's no place to hide in time. Like, unless you're near an entrance, if you're on the point, there's nowhere you can run to get away in time. Unless you get that perfect corner on the point where you can hide behind the little vehicle and maybe not get hit by it.
It saved us the game because they almost had it.
Yeah, they almost had it, and they were cheesing pretty hard too. They had like double bash in and all that. I remember.
Oh, that was a good game.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, they're changing the algorithm of that. I mean, it's gonna take a while. It's only been 2 weeks now, so I mean, you gotta let the information roll in, give the devs time to fine tune stuff, and eventually it will even out.
They were talking about like they did have it set up to where the healers would get to play the game for healing every once in a while, but the problem they found with that was Zenyatta would always get play of the game. If Zenyatta was being played, he got play of the game just by popping his ult once, even if nobody was around.
Yeah,
because he does an insane
so
amount of heal. Yeah.
Plus, it makes you invulnerable, which Zenyatta is actually really fun to play. But
yeah, another day.
They're also working on the match ranking system. Because they want that to be better when they put out the competitive mode.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, sometimes it's like, no, this was a bad match. This was really bad. They're all like the same level, and they're all really, really, really good, and we're all like noobs.
Did we talk about? Oh, I don't think we talked about the first person to reach 100, did we?
No, we didn't.
There was one person that's already reached rank 100 in the game. He put in 96 hours. He's played 13 hours every day since Overwatch came out. 13 hours every day.
Jesus. I thought I played it a lot. No.
I played maybe 6 hours, 7 hours every day since it came out. But like even then, that was like 2 hours, then take a break. 2 hours, then take a break. Like it.
That's I like the game, but I'll get easily burned out if I were to play it like that.
Yeah, like we were saying the last couple of shows, this is one of those games where yes, it is fun to play like on rant, like just for like 4 to 5 hours at a time, but it's also a game that you go full tilt on, and if you don't take a break, you are going to stay in full tilt mode and keep losing just because you keep doing horrible plays. Like it happens that way.
Yeah, then
it's
you
just
get super salty, and you get all pissy,
breathe.
And you have to take a breather, like Roadhog.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think that's all we got for tonight.
Well, we got a couple minutes before the show's over. Do you want to talk about any other games or anything you've been doing lately? Overwatch.
I've been watching a lot of Twitch streams lately and hanging out with friends in Twitch and stuff. I don't watch TV much anymore. I watch Game of Thrones. That's it. Not gonna say anything because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't watched it.
I'm waiting for the season to end, and I'm gonna watch the entire season from front to beginning. I mean, from front to end.
It's good. It's good.
I recently started watching Brown Man, which is like Ray Navarez Jr. Stream. He does a variety stream with a bunch of games, and
cool.
like he does a sub thing every Sunday. So I participated in the sub Sunday and played golf with him, which was really fun.
Nice.
Like we played mini golf, the Friends with Golf with Friends game. That was fun. Then I watched them play Jackbox for a while, and then
that's really fun. The Jackbox stuff. I've done that before.
Then I played a bunch of Overwatch, and I also played The Witcher 3. I decided to finally start playing The Witcher 3 and give it an actual good. It's. I'm still not completely sold on it being Game of the Year, like everyone says, but it's fun. But like, I feel like there's a lot that I'm missing that I'm not doing. But I don't know. I'm getting there. It's definitely a game that takes a lot of like, if you want to fight things that are a lot higher level than you, it takes a lot of skill to play, which is like I'm like don't have enough time to grind my way up to appropriate levels, so I'm having to get like real good at dodging and rolling and applying my shield at the perfect time.
Nice. I got 2 free beta keys from because I stream, and so I got 2 emails this week to say from 2 companies saying here's a free game, play it and stream it, so we can get marketing.
What games are they?
One of them's a puzzle game. I can't remember what it's called.
That doesn't sound like it'd be too fun for streaming.
It's an interesting concept. Let me see if I can't remember. Let me pull up my Steam because they're on Steam. But yeah, I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. I felt kind of cool.
That's awesome.
I did get a promotion, I guess, in the Girl Streamers group that I am a part of. I'm now a mod / admin is above me. Mod is just a moderator essentially.
Cool.
And it's like growing. It's a group of girls that support other female streamers, so it's a really positive community. Chroma Gun is the name of the first one I got, and it's a puzzle game where you have to like color things, and it looks interesting, and I'll stream it for a little bit, but I don't know, I haven't played it at all. I have not played it at all. And then another one is called Tanzia. And I got that one like 3 days ago, so I know absolutely nothing about that game. So if you guys are interested in seeing me play new games, you're welcome to come back to the stream and watch me play new games. I don't know when I'll stream those yet, but yeah, that's probably what I'll be doing next week.
I just saw something hilarious on Steam because I opened up Steam while you were talking, and there's a game called Summer Sale, and it's a Flash game that is like a redo of the Steam Summer Sale. It's like a joke version of it, and it looks really funny. It's got mixed reviews. It's probably not that good, and probably not worth the 99 cents they're charging, but it still looks freaking hilarious.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I might actually buy that just to be like for the lulz. I don't know yet.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be what my week is this week.
We do have one last thing. Before closing, we would like to thank Kick's Tripod for the first review. We do appreciate the love. He gave us the first review saying, "Great podcast, keep up the work." So I can't wait to get more 5-star from y'all. If y'all want to go ahead and do that.
Go ahead, head over there, give us a 5-star review. Haha, hint, wink. No. Seriously. But
that was awesome. Thank you, Kick Tripod. That was really great of you, and thank you a lot for that. This has been the Omnic Fallout, a podcast for Overwatch and probably other Blizzard games and anything else we want. If you have any questions, please email us at theomnicfallout@gmail.com. You can follow UniEdge at Zauve, XAUVE, and Nymphadora at Gamer Nymphadora. I'll go ahead and link all of that in chat.
It's already done, hun.
Alrighty. And,
if you'd like to donate to us, you can use the links below on Twitch to just donate, or you can follow our Patreon, my Patreon page, because I don't have one set up for the podcast yet, which is patreon.com/gametime with Nymphadora. Your donations
you got this.
will go to, I know, I can English. Your donations.
I cannot read script.
Your donations will go to the podcast. And we are setting up a Discord right now for everybody to join. So hopefully we'll have that up soon. And thank you for joining us, and come back next week as we discuss Symmetra, because she is the next comic book.
Mm-hmm.
So got to get our Symmetra game in.
And hopefully they keep coming up with comics so we keep having episodes.
We'll have to move on to the videos after that if they stop.
Yeah, because we're running a race right now with them.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us.
All right, y'all have a good one.